and welcome to the latest WynActive update. We know that it's a long time. We're now into our 10th week, I think, of the centres not being open, 9th or 10th week, and it's certainly not easy for any of us. So we're feeling for all of our members and all of the Wyndham community who can't access Eagle Stadium or Aquapulse, and in the early days, Werribee Outdoor Pool. But Rod, how are you this week?
Good, Baz. Yeah, look, another busy day in the satellite office. Hello to all those watching. Hope everyone's keeping well.
We thought there might be some news this week, but we haven't really heard anything, have we? We've been hanging out to hear some things, but nothing of a definitive nature has come through.
No, that's right. We were hoping to receive another update or announcement from the Premier. We were hoping that would be this week, probably midweek. It may still very well come tomorrow. But at this point, yeah, we're really holding out on that next update to understand when we may be looking to transition towards step 2.
And I think one of the pleasing things that we're seeing this week, end of last week as well, is a lot of the peak bodies within Australia and Victoria are coming out with guiding principles. And, from my point of view, we've got, we've heard about Basketball Australia and Basketball Victoria, and I think Netball Victoria, that you're all over that, Rod, I think. They've come out as well. So we're getting lots and lots of information. Fitness Australia, of course, I forgot them, but they're all coming out with guiding principles in regards to reopening.
Yeah, that's right. And look, they're great documents and they're really informative to us and the rest of the industry. And I think this week they've come out quicker than we can read them just about. And I know I've got some reading time to do with the Fitness Australia framework for facilities, and looking forward to reading that. But from what I've heard, it's a really comprehensive, well thought out document. The other thing, I guess, what we're keeping an eye on is what's happening interstate. And we know that Western Australia, South Australia, they're a few steps ahead of us with regards to their progression through that COVID-safe 3-step system that the federal government has put in place. I'll just refer to some notes. Western Australia, they effectively went into step 2, or what they're calling, I believe they're calling it phase 2, from May the 18th. And what that involves is outdoor and indoor fitness classes. They are able to operate pools, 1 pool indoor, 1 pool outdoor. And the common theme there for each of those spaces, it's a maximum of 20 people. So the facilities over in Western Australia, at least some of them that I know of, are planning to reopen, and one particular is planning to reopen on May 25th. And, they're obviously putting a whole lot of measures in place to operate under those quite tight restrictions. South Australia, they're looking at June 5 for step 2, and they've made reference to gyms opening at that point. What they've also referenced is the 1.5 metre social distancing. They've also made reference to 4 square metres per participant. But again, the common theme there is 20 people max per space. So based on the information we've got, based on what we're reading through these resources coming through from our state and national bodies, I dare say that our reopening is going to look something similar.
I think the thing is we don't know yet. And so what we're doing today is talking about what's happening elsewhere, as it may happen like that here at WynActive, for sure. And a couple of other things that are happening with the centres that are just about to or have reopened. And there's a couple in WA that we are looking at. But so the centres are only available for members, but there's no membership fee. It's a casual charge each time. So, it's something we'll be looking at as well, that our members can use it, but you pay as you go, and obviously all direct debits would be keep being suspended. It's just another way of controlling the people that come in. Another interesting thing, Rod, that I've seen a couple of centres do over there is that you've got to book and pay online before you can come in. I thought that's interesting and something we're currently investigating.
Yeah, look at and that concept of running essentially sessions on the gym floor in the pool hall, that's coming out in some of those frameworks and guidelines, including Fitness Australia. So yes, we are looking at that closely. I guess the advantage of that is we could really maximise the utilisation of our facilities, but whilst maintaining those restrictions, and it'll make sure that we can keep the facilities safe. We can engage in cleaning and reinstatement of those spaces between sessions. So look, it's quite a logical way to go about it. And as you said, Baz, we're certainly doing our research now to make sure that we're ready for when we receive more information and ultimately when we know when the doors are opening and what those restrictions are.
I think for me, the message I'd like to get across to people is we are trying to keep all over this as much as possible. We're looking at what's happening, especially interstate in Australia, looking at what's coming out from the peak bodies. But the priority for us, I know, and you'll be able to reinforce this, is safety of all of our patrons.
Yeah, absolutely. Safety of our patrons, safety of our staff, and our wider community. So we've got a role to play. So we need to make sure that we're not only, in my mind, meeting but exceeding those safety expectations as we re-enter a new normal of operation in what will still be some uncertain times ahead. Yeah.
Look, as I said, we've been hypothesising and talking about what's happening elsewhere, and hopefully next week we said this last week, but hopefully next week we'll have a bit more news and have a bit more of a definite direction that we'll be able to let everyone know what's happening. But stay tuned. Today we've given you a bit of an overview of what it might be like, but we don't know yet. But exciting news for Find Your 30 Challenge, Rod.
Yeah, look, Find Your 30, that whole campaign's been amazing. The online fitness content that we continue to provide on a daily basis is still being really well received. And the week 2 of the challenge commences Monday next week. So again, we're going to keep encouraging people to check out that challenge, to view and take advantage of that online content that our fitness team are pulling together on a daily basis. And yeah, look, it's all of that content has been really valuable, over the past sort of 6 to 8 weeks, and we'll continue to work on that and put that out there until there's more that we can do, and we'll keep going.
Yeah, of course, all participants see some great little tips and demonstrations by Mark Williams, the AFL legend and current Werribee head coach as well. I'm enjoying those, Rod.
Yeah, it's great to have Mark behind the program, and yeah, he's certainly brought some value to it.
Yeah. Thanks very much for today, Rod. Thanks for updating the Wyndham and WynActive communities in regards to what's happening elsewhere as a way of what might happen here at WynActive. I think we're on the precipice of that reopening, exactly when that happens, but it is exciting at the same time, isn't it?
Absolutely, yeah. No, every day we're receiving more information, and we feel that we're a little bit closer and a little more prepared for what we are expecting to come through, and hopefully within a few more days or a week or two, we've got a better line of sight, and we'll continue to do what we need to do to get our doors open and re-welcome our members back into the facilities.
Rest assured, when we hear something, we'll be letting you know. Once again, we want to open as well. Rod and I are hanging out. There's no doubt about it. So is everyone else at WynActive. That's what we're here for. We're here to help and serve the community by operating our centres. Look after yourself, stay healthy, and keep smiling. Thanks for today, Rod.
No worries, Baz. Thanks, everyone.